Drop Dude John doesn't give up, does he? Thank you very much, Drop Dude. I appreciate all your comments, and you seem to be following my channel very carefully. But in response to my stuff about the migration problem and Australia's example, and indeed Australia's help in sorting out our migrant issue in the UK, you say all you are suggesting is we need to increase the deterrent by just deporting them. It's not what I'm suggesting, actually. That would be a misreading of what I'm suggesting. But let's take that seriously, because, first of all, how do you draw that conclusion? You can't draw it from what I've said. But if that is what you want to do, we still get back to the same issue that the deterrent doesn't work. Why? First of all, it's impractical. We can't send people back to France because France doesn't want to take them. And we're no longer signed up to Dublin 3, so we can't simply return them to France or to Europe, to the port at which they first entered. So that doesn't work because, as I said before, Lord Frost was too stupid to negotiate the Dublin 3 into the Brexit agreement. Then many of the proposals made by Priti Patel and Suella Braverman are frankly illegal under international law. Suella Braverman is well aware of that fact. She talks about testing the limits of the law, but she knows that sending people to be managed by a third country, outsourcing our responsibility under the 1951 Refugee Convention, is very close to the line morally and legally. Secondly, the country that she's chosen, Rwanda, already has an appalling reputation for dealing with refugees badly. Thirdly, the Rwandan government is by no means secure. It's involved in a border war. It's involved in political assassination. It's not certainly far from a liberal country. And although Suella Braverman has friends in the government who she knew as lawyers and helped to train, that is no guarantee that they're going to be there in 10 years down the line. So again, the Rwanda option, even if it's seen as a deterrent simply, and something which we don't want, again, how can we be sure that that message is getting across to the wider world, and particularly to the people in Afghanistan, for example, people who are fleeing an appalling terror, whether this is torture or whether this is inhumanity or whether this is simply extreme poverty. People who are fleeing that sort of misery don't look closely at where they're going. They've been told this is a land of milk and honey. And who are they listening to? Even if they have a capacity to understand the English, they're not necessarily going to believe the slogans which the Home Office apparently has commissioned. And for the most part, we are now getting evidence that those sloganized posters, those adverts, are not even getting to the intended recipients. They're being targeted at tourists by Facebook, and we are paying through the nose for yet another one of Suella Braverman's stupid decisions, because she doesn't think a problem through, because she doesn't look at the detail, because we've seen this again and again in the way that she manages her appearances in front of the select committee, leafing through paperwork as if she hasn't done her work in not only in a university assignment, but in a school assignment. The next moment she's going to be putting her hand up and asking to be excused and go to the lavatory. This is the stuff of somebody who is lazy and who is not bright. And I don't believe Suella Braverman is stupid. So what is this, some sort of game? Well, she's got me convinced. She's got me convinced, absolutely. But what is the purpose of that game? I suggest one option here is that this is just time wasting while the government holds on to power until the next election. It's simply time wasting and leaving as difficult a mess for the next government to clear up as it possibly can. And if it's not time wasting, then we really are dealing with idiots. Idiotika, Greek word meaning individual. Individuals who are simply not thinking in community, who are simply out of sync, who are so eccentric as to be absurd. Idiotica. And what do? Well, we can completely bang on. We can continue. That's what I was looking for. We can continue to bang on the dispatch box and scream invader and other xenophobic rants. But in the end, we are hurting ourselves. And I would hope that Suella Braverman would start to think about the history that will be written about her and how she will emerge in history. She may already be thinking, oh, can I be the next leader of the Conservative Party? If there is a Conservative Party. If there is.